So I'm so excited for Wave 3 to come out. I'm so excited to have our new players joining us just on the 15th, just in 3 days. We are so excited to share this game with you. I know a lot of people have really been craving getting into the game, just waiting in anticipation. We're just really excited to have our Wave 3 players with us. I really think these gear sets are going to make the game especially more manageable for people who are new to the game. A lot of this game is discovering new gear and new content and new goals to work toward. And I really think people being able to share sets with each other is really going to inspire them to want to get out and grind and progress their account, progress their character. I love the ways that they're adding to filter through your gear and to get gear recommendations. Again, this will be a huge feature for people who are discovering the game or maybe working on a new skill. I think having gear recommended to you is way less overwhelming, but also a really great way to see what you've collected. Okay, WalkScape Devblog number 51, Gear Sets and Holiday Breaks. Hello and welcome once again to the WalkScape Devblog. I have some exciting news about the engine rework, and as promised, a first look at gear sets. Wave 3.5 starts this week. Wave 3.5 of WalkScape Closed Beta begins on December 15th. Players who have supported development on Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee will receive immediate access when the wave goes live. Those who have supported development before January 6th will also gain access during this wave, as mentioned in our previous devlogs. More instructions on how to get access are at this link here. So this is your chance for those of you who want to play. It is starting December 15th, so that's just in 3 days. So if you would like to play this wave, all the new players that are coming in are strictly people who have supported through Buy Me a Coffee or on Patreon. The basic cost for getting access is $3. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly encourage you to do so. This beta wave will last until January the 6th. So during that time, anyone who supports will get immediate access to the game. Once January 6th is over, all the people who have access will maintain access all the way through closed beta. So now we're looking at gear sets. Gear sets is something that players have been wanting for a while. One challenge in the game right now is, say you're switching activities, say you're going from like mining to smithy. You gotta run back to the bank, you gotta pull out all the gear you want, make sure it's the right gear. You gotta put it on your body, you gotta take all the old gear and stick it back in the bank, and then you run off and do your activity. This is something that's very unique to WalkScape because you really do have gear sets for every single activity you do. And that's one of the fun parts of the game because you're collecting so many different things. So what this feature is gonna do is it's gonna allow you to easily switch between these gear sets and then run off on what you're gonna do. Let's dive into the exciting new quality of life feature that's launching alongside the engine optimization gear sets. According to our previous poll, gear sets or presets were the most requested quality of life feature, making them our top priority. I'm happy to report that I've designed the system and completed its core functionality. I just need to add some finishing touches and polish the UI and it should be ready. Here's what this system aims to solve. Switching gear between skills is tedious. With presets for skills and activities, you'll be able to swap your entire loadout with just a few taps. Finding the optimal gear for activities and skills can be tricky. We're adding tools to help you pick the right equipment, especially when managing lots of items. Whether you're a min-maxer or casual player, these features will make your life easier. Now let me walk you through all the features coming with gear sets. Gear sets, how do they work? When designing this system, we needed features that would work well for both casual players and min-max players. I wanted to get it right so that managing gear builds would be much simpler for everyone in the future. Here is a list of our features. We're also planning to integrate gear sets with Travel plus Q, which will make swapping sets even easier when switching activities. So Travel plus Q is the ability to say, here's what I'm doing in the game right now. I want to go over there. So you choose the destination of where you're going, where you want to walk to in the game, and which activities you want to begin when you get there, and it will automatically make you start when you arrive. So here we have an image of creating gear set from current items. So this person has a candle hat equipped, a tiny backpack, a crafting shirt, a sword. Now that's interesting because that sword is called the swashbuckler sword. That's not a sword we have in the game at the moment. A swashbuckler sword. So some of these items are items we don't have access to yet. Very cool. There's a pearl amulet and a fine pearl ring. Amazing. And a rooted ring. Oh, an adventurer wrench, crafting guide. So this player is equipping a whole different set. Probably, I mean, it's probably for crafting. You can see there's a candle hat, a crafting shirt. By pressing the copy currently equipped gear, your current gear set gets added to the gear set you're creating. So that's the most common way to create a gear set. You put on the gear, you're like, this is my set for this, and then you label that gear set, and then you'll quickly be able to swap into that in the future. So the other way that they're going to be able to make gear sets is called customize and prepare. That is so cool. You can choose which stat you're looking for. So not only can you make gear sets, you can have the gear set tool recommend pieces that you have that will give you the stat you want. So in this example, they've chosen sort by crafting outcome, and it is showing the player that they should wear the adventurer wrench, the crafting guidebook, the adjustable wrench, slipstick, adventurer hammer, magnifying glass. For example, finding a tool for the gear which has the highest crafting outcome is now very easy. That is so good. When not walking, so in other words, when you're not currently doing an activity, you can create gear sets to prepare for activities or upcoming existing ones. I've created an advanced in-game tool called the Gear Explorer to help you find the right equipment for your sets. When creating or editing a gear set, simply click any gear slot to open up the Gear Explorer. You'll see a list of all the items that fit that slot from your Wikipedia discovery. So it's only going to show you the stuff you discovered, so no spoilers in the tool, with several ways to find the perfect item. Sort by attribute. Choose any attribute like work efficiency to see items ranked from highest to lowest. So it's even going to show you your gear, so you can be like, this is what I've collected, this is what I've upgraded, and this is how much better this piece is than the other. Filter by activity. Select specific activities like cut birch trees or cut pine trees or cut oak trees. The list will only show items with relevant attributes, and sorting will be calculated for those selected activities to show which items provide the greatest benefit. There are so many stats on our gear. This is really going to help newer players figure out which gear is optimal for which activity they want to do. You can filter by skill. This is not done yet, so they're adding that. For a broader view, filtering by skill to see all related items. You can see all the items you have for a particular skill, which is fantastic. Compare items. Now this is a really, really great feature. Compare items. If you already have an item equipped, you'll see a helpful comparison to make upgrading easier. So this will show you, this is what I have on, this is what I'm comparing it to, and which one is actually going to give me better stats for this. Search. Find items quickly using the search function, just like in Bank. Very useful. Share or import gear sets. Here are your gear sets that you can equip easily. If you want to create a new one, click the button below. You can also copy your currently equipped gear when creating a new gear set. The caption reads, under the image, you can press the import button to copy a gear set made by another player to your character. Don't want to figure out the best gear yourself? You can ask the community to share their gear sets. The game allows you to export your gear sets and import ones made by others. When you import a gear set, your character gets a copy with the same configuration. For example, if someone has created an optimal set for a treasure team activity, they can share their gear set data for others to easily import and use. If the gear set includes items your character hasn't discovered yet, they'll appear with a question mark sprite and without stats or rarity, but their names will be visible. Since players who share and import gear sets typically use the wiki, and showing item names makes it easier to look up how to obtain missing gear while not ruining the feeling of discovery for those who don't want to use the wiki. I am really excited about this. It can feel a little bit overwhelming at times to go through all the wiki to find the best stats for whatever skill or activity you're choosing to do. I know that even for crafting outcome, this is a very example it's using here. I've wanted to look at the best crafting outcome sets, and I've been on Discord asking people like, what's the best set? What's the best layout? Being able to instantly share a layout for whatever gear set you're looking at instantly gives you feedback, instantly gives you ideas, and it gives you goals and saying, okay, I want to fill out this loadout. I need to go to these locations now, and I need to collect these items. Finally, let's talk about organizing your gear sets for easy access when you have multiple saved. Each gear set has these customization options. Names, give it a name. You can call it whatever set you want. Icons, add multiple icons that appear before the set's names. So you can easily reference that set, right? You can give it, say it's a combat set in the future. Maybe there's a shield or a sword, you can give it that icon. What's your mining set? Give it a pickaxe icon, very cool. Color, use colors to categorize your sets, like green for woodcutting sets. Very cool. Skills. Choose which skills the set appears for. For example, your fishing set won't clutter the menu while you're smithing. Very useful. Activities. Specify activities where this set should appear, like skills. This helps keep your gear sets relevant to what you're doing. Note, when your character is idle, all gear sets will be visible when you browse them, regardless of skill or activity filters. So when you want to go into your gear sets and organize them or get rid of old ones or clean them up, you can do that just by stopping your activity and going right in. Smart with inventory space. Let's look at how gear sets handle inventory management. When switching a gear set at a bank, you'll be asked if you want to store your current gear in the bank. If not, the items will go into your inventory. If you're at a bank and your desired gear set contains items stored, those items will automatically be withdrawn. If you have them in your inventory is always prioritized before the bank. If some of the items in your gear set are unavailable, whether they're missing or don't meet the requirements, or you no longer own them, you'll see a list of these items and can decide whether to proceed with the switch. So the gear sets will not only withdraw the items and equip them, it will also take all the items you don't need anymore and it'll put them back in the bank. So they've been working on optimizing the game for a while. There's a lot of quality of life features that they've been wanting to add to the game, like we did the vote, and we're gonna add so many features, but in order to add those features, they've needed to optimize the engine. So let's see what kind of progress they've made on that. Last week, we completed the engine optimization with only a few minor features missing and released it to our internal testers. This work took quite a bit, and I'm very happy it's finished. If we had postponed it and allowed technical debt to accumulate, it would have taken much longer to complete in the future. I completely agree with this. If they had just pushed out features and not worked on this, I think in the long run, we would have cost ourselves a lot of development time. Initial testing has revealed a bunch of small bugs in the optimization engine, but these should be rather quick to fix. After completing the gear sets, hopefully by next week, I hope you get them soon, I'll focus on fixing these bugs and repairing anything before release. Due to the holiday break, this update will likely be ready for closed beta testing sometime in January. The timeline mainly depends on how quickly we can solve bugs. Lastly, the development team will be taking a holiday break from December 23rd to January 1st. While we may check Discord and contact@WalkScape.app emails for any Wave 3 issues, we'll primarily be enjoying time with family. Fantastic. Due to the break, there won't be a devblog on December 26th. The next one will be postponed on January 9th. And of course that makes sense. The development of this game is a marathon, not a sprint. We want a quality game that's enjoyed for many years to come. So of course the developers are gonna have slow periods where they're enjoying their family life just like us. And we highly encourage you guys to do that. Nobody wants to burn out. That's all for today, folks. Thanks for reading and happy holidays to everyone. Keep walking and stay hydrated. I honestly didn't realize how excited I would be about a lot of these quality of life features. And now that they're finally being shown and fleshed out, I really feel they're gonna add a lot of quality of life to the game and make it much more enjoyable and fun to play. I know that these engine optimizations have been a lot of work, and I really appreciate the devs for their foresight and their foreknowledge in the work they needed to do now to make it work. We are so thankful for you, our devs. Thank you for putting out this devblog. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you, Shampoo, for writing it. Thank you to the whole team for all their hard work, and we can't wait to see all the good stuff that's coming in January.